Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting adventure. Today we're diving into the wonders of Indonesia, the land of 1,000 islands. Well, actually more like 17,000. Can you believe that? That's a crazy number of islands. Each one has its own unique charm and story. You could spend your whole life hopping from one to the next and still not see them all. Imagine the endless adventures. Seriously, there's more? Yes, more than you can ever imagine. Imagine a place with more volcanoes than coffee shops in Seattle. Yep, Indonesia's got them. Fiery mountains spitting out lava and making for some awesome sunrise pictures. These volcanoes are not just natural wonders, but also a testament to the Earth's raw power. Speaking of pictures, have you seen those Komodo dragons online? These creatures are fascinating. Those guys are like dinosaurs just chilling in Indonesia like it's no big deal. They are the largest living species of lizard and can only be found in this part of the world. And oh boy, the food. We're talking rendang, satay, nasi goreng, yummy stuff that'll make you want to lick your plate. The flavors are so rich and diverse, it's a culinary paradise. Trust me, Indonesia is the place to be. From its breathtaking landscapes to its vibrant culture and delicious food, there's something for everyone. Whether you're an adventurer, a foodie, or just someone looking to relax, Indonesia has it all, so pack your bags and get ready for an unforgettable journey. Let's go way back in time, like, back. I'm talking caveman days. Meet Java Man, the original Indonesian, hanging out here over 1 million years ago. These early humans were the first island dwellers, figuring out how to live in this tropical paradise. They were fishing, farming, and probably invented flip-flops. Imagine living the good life way before TV or video games. Respect. Fast forward a few thousand years and things are getting interesting. The world is no longer just a collection of small tribes and villages. We see the rise of powerful kingdoms and sprawling empires that would shape the course of history. These were times of great change, innovation, and expansion. We've got kingdoms, empires, and buildings that make the pyramids look small. Imagine vast cities with towering structures, bustling marketplaces, and grand palaces. These civilizations were advanced, with complex social structures and impressive technological achievements. Srivijaya, Majapahit, Mataram, these were the big names, ruling over tons of land and sea. They controlled vast territories and were influential in trade and culture. Their influence extended far beyond their borders, impacting neighboring regions and even distant lands. Think epic battles and powerful rulers, but with more spices and cool clothes. These empires were often at war, vying for control and dominance. Their armies were formidable and their leaders were both feared and respected. But it wasn't all about conflict. These rulers also fostered trade and cultural exchange. These empires weren't just about power, though. They were centers of trade, where merchants from all over the world would come to exchange goods. Spices, textiles, precious metals, and other valuable commodities flowed through their markets, enriching their economies and spreading their influence. They were all about trade, culture, and some amazing architecture. These empires built incredible structures that have stood the test of time. Temples, palaces, and monuments that still awe us today. Their cultural contributions were immense, influencing art, literature, and religion. Check out Borobudur, a giant temple that looks like a huge puzzle made of stone. Talk about impressive. This architectural marvel is a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of these ancient civilizations. It's not just a building, it's a symbol of their achievements and their lasting legacy. Indonesia has always been a mix of different cultures, and that includes religions. Hinduism and Buddhism came from India, bringing new ideas and some awesome temples. Then came Islam, which quickly spread and became the main religion. But here's the cool thing about Indonesia: everyone gets along, even with different beliefs. People found ways to live together and even mix their traditions. It's like a big party where everyone's invited. Okay, so this part gets a little tricky. We're diving into the world of colonial trade, where maps were drawn and redrawn, and the stakes were incredibly high. Imagine a time when the world was still being discovered, and every new land held the promise of untold riches. Remember those spices I mentioned? Nutmeg, cloves, peppercorns. These were the treasures of the East Indies. They were worth their weight in gold, and everyone in Europe wanted a piece of the action. Spices were more than just flavor. They were a symbol of wealth and power. Well, Europe really wanted them. The demand was insatiable, and the competition was fierce. Merchants and traders would go to great lengths to secure these precious commodities, often risking their lives in the process. That's where the Dutch East India Company comes in. Founded in 1602, It was one of the most powerful trading companies in history. They had ships, soldiers, and a mandate to dominate the spice trade. Their influence stretched far and wide, and they were not afraid to use force to get what they wanted. They said they wanted to trade, but really, they wanted to take over. The Dutch East India Company was more like a colonial empire in disguise. They negotiated treaties, but those treaties often came with a heavy price for the local populations. For over 300 years, the Dutch ruled Indonesia, taking its resources and making life hard for the locals. The Dutch imposed their will, extracting valuable resources like spices, rubber, and of course, coffee. The local people were often forced into labor, and their lives were controlled by the colonial rulers. But hey, at least they brought coffee, right? Coffee became one of the most significant exports from Indonesia, and it changed the way the world drank coffee. The rich aromatic beans from the Indonesian archipelago became highly sought after. It's hard to stay mad when you've got a good cup of coffee. Even today, the legacy of Dutch colonialism is complex, but one thing is for sure, the coffee culture they helped establish has endured. So next time you sip on a cup of Indonesian coffee, remember the long, complicated history behind it. Merdeka. After World War II, the Dutch wanted to keep ruling, but Indonesia said, no way. August 17, 1945 is a super important day. That's when Indonesia declared its independence, led by Sukarno and Hatta. It wasn't easy. There were fights, talks, and lots of drama, but finally, Indonesia was free. Getting independence is like winning a big race. It's awesome, but then you have to figure out what to do next. Indonesia had big problems. Political trouble, money problems, and trying to unite everyone. It was a tough time with lots of ups and downs, mostly downs if we're being honest. There were dictators, revolutions, and more drama than a soap opera. But Indonesia kept working to build a better future. And here we are today, Indonesia, a country with a growing economy and people who love taking selfies. Seriously, everyone's snapping pics. From ancient temples to modern skyscrapers, Indonesia is a mix of old and new. You can find busy cities and quiet villages where life is more relaxed. Indonesia's story isn't over. It's a country that's always changing and facing new challenges. One thing's for sure, Indonesia is an amazing place.